If I have thought of one thing quite a bit, it has to be, what is Batman's greatest superpower? Now, I know, he doesn't technically have superpowers, but we know that Bruce Wayne, or Batman, has a ton of different attributes to himself that kind of are like superpowers. So, what is his greatest superpower? Is it his wealth? Nah, definitely not his wealth. Is it his skill as a martial artist? That's pretty damn good, but I wouldn't say that. What about his investigative skills? I mean, that is top notch, but I wouldn't even really go along the lines of that. What about his gadgets or his ability to invent things? You know what? I'm gonna pass on that one. I honestly think Batman's greatest superpower is his Rizz. Yes, I know. A lot of you are probably like, there's no way you just said Rizz. And yeah, it feels a little odd for me to say that as well, especially when I am 21 years old and I feel like Rizz is kind of out of my age range just a little bit, at least maybe a couple years out of my age range. But how else was I supposed to say it? At the end of the day, Batman has insane Rizz, aka he can bag almost any baddie you can possibly think of. That dude is a certified baller. And frankly, it's not just because he's rich, it's not just because he's famous Bruce Wayne. It has nothing to do with that half the time. Half the time, or more than half the time, it's far even beyond that. I mean, let's start with the first person, in my opinion, that I like talking about, and that's an Amazonian princess, Wonder Woman. Yes, on multiple occasions, Batman straight up rizzes up Wonder Woman, but the one that I remember most closely is the animated TV show, or the Justice League animated TV show back in like 2003. Don't get me wrong, I was born, but I was only like 1 year old during this time, but I did watch it to a large extent when I was on the younger side, so around probably like 7 or 8, and Wonder Woman makes it very clear that she wants to be with Batman. I mean, they sit on a rooftop and talk, and she basically says that she would love to have that normal life, would love to have that kind of common person or a normal person dance with a loved one, or just go down there and have fun with someone that they enjoy being around. And that's what Wonder Woman wants. And Batman immediately kind of rejects this thing, saying that, well, for starters, like, it's not good to date in the workplace and blah blah blah. And on top of that, if the villains knew that he was more or less with someone else, that they would get to him through her. She would then smash a gargoyle within her fingertips and tell him to say the next thing, because obviously Wonder Woman doesn't necessarily need protection by any means. She is the definition of a strong and independent woman, and I'm gonna be honest, that's why I love Wonder Woman so damn much. She is absolutely awesome. So the fact that Batman himself can rizz her up and then reject her and then rizz her up again still, come on. It's certified, guys. We all know Batman's got that certified Rizz, man. And it even goes even further, man. Wonder Woman gets put, or basically put under a spell or turned into a pig. And guess what? Batman's like, I gotta get her back. I gotta save her. So that's exactly what Batman does. He is able to save Wonder Woman by singing a song. Yes, you heard it. Singing a song. And this dude, oh my, he has pipes, man. He can sing. It is an absolute lover boy situation. This guy sings his heart out. Everybody's crying, and Wonder Woman comes back and is no longer a pig. And they would have a little bit of a conversation later on, and he would want to know, I mean, does she remember anything and so on? But she says, no, I don't remember anything, and walks off basically and starts humming the same song that he was singing. Man, if you aren't ready to go, and if you aren't on that base already, I mean, how could you not? Batman absolutely crossed the finish line with that one, rizzing up Wonder Woman easily. I mean, what in this world do you know that a woman decides to actually take the first step and actually hit on someone else first? I mean, that's what Wonder Woman did for Batman. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty crazy. Now, with that said, there's other people to talk about, so let me stop rambling on about Wonder Woman. Let me go to an actual villain by the name of Cheetah. Yes, Cheetah. So Batman gets captured by Cheetah, Lex Luthor, and many other more or less villains, and he starts talking to her, talking about her life story, saying that he knows that it wasn't her fault, and that she had to start experimenting on herself to learn more, and then she became who she was. She referenced herself as a monster, but Batman doesn't see that. Batman, deep down inside, he may not look like a monster, but the Bat persona, I mean, that is his monster. And he begins to absolutely rizz up Cheetah. So much so that he convinces her to let him go from capture, knowing that there's going to be horrible repercussions. Actually, there was a point in time and a reference that can insinuate that they actually killed Cheetah, or the people that were there with Lex Luthor kills Cheetah. But obviously there's a little bit of an animated issue where we see Cheetah go in the back of the van and stuff, so technically she's probably not dead, but let's just say that she knew the consequences. Like, she knew that there was a good chance that she would die, and Batman still rizzed her up, convinced her to release him, and bagged a kiss. Made out with an actual cheetah, or humanoid cheetah. Is that an actual cheetah? I don't know. Something like that, man. Now, let's go on to the next woman, and this is one that is probably more known to the public and many other people, and that has to be Talia al Ghul. Talia al Ghul is definitely an odd one, but there are versions of her that is attracted to the strength and ability that Batman has, and this is where it kind of falls in line with Batman can rizz up people and rizz up females in various different ways. In this way, he rizzes up Talia al Ghul because of how good of an assassin he could truly be. His martial arts is flawless, and his ability to fight is just beautiful. So that's why Talia al Ghul absolutely falls in love with him. And yes, there are versions of her that aren't super and utterly irritating, and there are versions of her that are very, very bad. And well, let's just say that he rizzes Talia up so bad in one universe that she's so attracted to him that she drugs him and, let's just say, gets a kid from him. Yeah, I'm not going to use that word that some of you are currently thinking of in the YouTube video because I don't want to get in any trouble. But yes, Talia al Ghul was rizzed up so much that she drugged him, got a kid from him, and then later on revealed that that kid was Damian Wayne, and then told him to be a father now. Yeah, it's a very scary thing out there, so make sure to be careful, everybody. Females, males, anybody in between, be careful out there. Scary world. Not saying that you're going to run into your very own Talia al Ghul, but you just never know what's coming around that corner, so you gotta be careful. And Batman, he needs to put the Rizz away from time to time because stuff like this might just happen. Now, we go on to probably the most known female character for Batman, or the female coupling, or female-male coupling for Batman, or what some people call a ship or relationship, and that has to be Catwoman. Catwoman is very well known, and she's also a known criminal, or a cat burglar. You know, see what I did there? Cat burglar. Okay, I'll stop. Now, she does get rizzed up pretty damn hard, but it's more or less that beautiful cat and mouse game, right? Batman chases after her, she runs away, she steals, he chases after her, she runs away. It's that kind of vicious cycle, or in her point, a beautiful cycle of just having fun. And that's where she basically enjoyed having Batman the most. And that's what we've seen a lot, is that Catwoman loves to be around Batman when she's being hunted, when she's running away. Ironically enough, this would make Bruce the cat and Selina the mouse, but you kind of get the idea. This cat and mouse game is something that they do quite a bit throughout the comics, the movies, the shows. It's pretty heavily woven in quite a bit with Batman's whole story, but there is some times that she is flat out a great person, and there's some universes that well, she ends up being with Batman. Like, they settle down and everything. They get married and stuff like that. Now, with that said, they have a kid. Luckily, this kid is under complete voluntary action between both of them, and they have a kid that ends up being Huntress. Now, with that said, there's another version from a timeline or a universe that I talk about quite a bit, and that would be the Injustice universe. This version of Catwoman could bring a grown man to tears. Like, straight up tears. And I'm not saying that because I cried my eyes out when I saw this scene from the Injustice movie. I totally am not admitting that right now. But it's because she literally walks up to him after Dick Grayson's death and consoles him. Is the person that he can cry his eyes out on her shoulder. She tells him to melt, to fall, to collapse, to break apart, to shatter, and that she'd be there to pick up the pieces. But for one night, no Batman, no cow, no vigilante. Be Bruce. Be a mess. Be the person that just lost their son. That's the person that he needs to be, and that's who Catwoman or Selina Kyle was able to get through to him, at least that regard, so that he can get his head on straight, so that he can approach what's going on and what's happening properly. Now, I don't want to talk about the Injustice story too much, because I'm gonna be honest, maybe he didn't approach things very good in general in that story, and maybe you'll blame that on the writers or blame that on someone else. But yes, that's another conversation for a totally different day. But yes, Catwoman was there for him, was an integral part of his more or less mental recovery, and on multiple occasions she does amazing things in terms of being a good person for Bruce. I mean, outside of that one Injustice ending where she gets bored of him, but we're not going to talk about that because that's not even canon. I mean, most of the stuff I talk about aren't even canon anyways, but whatever. Now, you might be wondering, who's the last person I'm going to talk about? And I probably left out a ton of females that you guys would love to comment about, so feel free to do so. The next person I want to talk about is actually someone he doesn't even date. He doesn't like mess with her at all. She's actually from a totally different Earth. And that's Superwoman. Yeah, Superwoman. I was rewatching that movie, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, and the fact that he could rizz up a powerful woman like her almost instantaneously just based on his fighting skills alone. She basically immediately commends him, saying, wow, you fight a lot like my boyfriend, aka Owlman, which makes sense because he's technically a different version of Batman, sort of. And she's just absolutely smitten by him, so much so that she says that that she wants to make him her pet. See, I don't know about that one, but I feel like there's a lot of Rizz to be involved there, especially when a powerful woman like her is like, I really want you as my pet. Now, she does break one of his ribs, but I'm gonna be honest, he probably likes stuff like that. I'm not gonna cap. I mean, he probably does. He probably is not 100% against it. Now, Superwoman does say that she likes having her partners scream a little or something of that nature, and that's something that I'm going to have to question while I stand in the shower staring at the ceiling. But that's not really the point. He basically uses her lack of attention, or his, in my opinion, Rizz, to get her in a vulnerable state by acting as if he's leaving or running away with smoke bombs. And that's obviously not the case in this regard. There is no smoke bomb that's going to keep her from literally stopping him. So he baits her in with anesthetic gas. She sucks it all up. Whoa, pause. Sorry about that. She does breathe it all in, and she passes out. So he was able to defeat her based on her lack of awareness of the situation, you could say. But I'm gonna chalk it up to the effect of Batman's greatest superpower, which is his master Rizz. Yeah, his master Rizz. Now, with all that said, those are about 5 love interests that I guess technically one of them isn't really a love interest, and the other ones not, or one of them's not as well. It's a villain that he kind of rizzed up, but that's not the point. There's 5 people or females that he definitely enacted his greatest superpower on, aka that amazing Rizz. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Is Batman's greatest superpower his Rizz? Who else did he Rizz up that I didn't talk about today? Because I'm sure I can sit here and talk for like 40, 45, maybe to an hour long video talking about every single person he's ever rizzed up, or even just shown that amazing charisma. Because let's be honest, Batman got crazy charisma. That's real stuff. But let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you have to say about the choices in females, and also what choices that I left out that you would love for me to talk about in the future, or maybe that you would love to talk about in the comment section with your fellow comic casual enjoyer. I hope you're enjoying the video. Now, with all that said, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And as always, if you did like this video, YouTube thinks that you'll like this one, so might as well go click on it. Like seriously, what are you waiting for?